One possible strategy to stave off higher inflation is raising the federal interest rate, but so far the Federal Reserve has not done so. However, that could change this month. Chair Jerome Powell says he supports a quarter-point increase as the Federal Reserve's short-term interest rate. But what does that really mean for you and me? Well, to help us answer that question, we've invited Dr. Andreas Hauskrecht, a Kelley School of Business professor at Indiana University Bloomington. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you spending the time. First up, why is the Federal Reserve considering this increase, and how will it affect inflation?
It's a really good question. From a monetary viewpoint, from a central banker's viewpoint, there is not really a need to increase interest rates right now. And the Fed was really hesitant to do so. And the reason is that it's not monetary factors that are responsible for the measured increase in prices. The increase in prices that we see right now are one-to-one problems of supply chains. So when you look which prices did really increase so much, it's new cars, because there's no chips to produce enough cars. It's used cars, because the rental fleets are buying now used cars instead of new cars, because there are no new cars. So those are other factors than actually monetary factors. But the pressure on the Fed to react got bigger, and bigger, and to a certain extent, we see some shortages on the labor market. And that has convinced the Fed to increase the Fed fund target rate by a quarter percentage point in the next meeting on March 16. So what are the repercussions, consequences for the normal Hoosier? Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing, absolutely not. You will not feel anything. It will not change the price trends. The bond market has already priced in this minor 25 basis points increase. So none of your watchers will see any material repercussion of that move. It's more psychological. We call this in central banking, it's a signaling that the Fed is willing to address the issue of rising prices. But they do it a little bit against their own will, if I might say.
Okay, well, and that kind of explains why they've been so hesitant to do so far. So will that psychological, you're saying that it may make a psychological difference. Will that spur people to have more confidence and then spend? Is that kind of what they're hoping for?
What they were hoping for before the Ukraine crisis was that the supply chain problems get resolved soon, that those shortages end, that we see that the price trends go down, and with declining inflation, we call this disinflation, the markets would calm down. Obviously now with the Ukraine crisis, everything is in the air. It will probably contribute to additional supply chain problems. And the Fed, it becomes something like a self-fulfilling prophecy. People think it's inflation, although we as central bankers would say that's not inflation. This is price increases due to other factors than monetary policy. But when people think it's inflation and they go to their employer and say, I want to have higher wages, and the wage costs go up, then the employers have to increase prices. This wrong perception becomes right. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And this is the situation of the Fed. And that's why the Fed was so hesitant, as you mentioned correctly, and did not increase interest rates in their last meeting.
Okay, you have given us some fascinating information. We are really out of time, but I want to ask you one last thing, and that is then, what are we to do? Is it basically just something we just have to wait and let all of this kind of settle down and pass, or is there something that can actively be done to make things better?
No.
And we don't have much time here, so I apologize.
I think there is no alternative than we have to wait, and we have to hope that the supply chains become normal. Central bank interest rate increases will not solve the problem.
Okay. Dr. Andreas Hauskrecht, a professor at the Kelley School of Business at Indiana University Bloomington. Thank you so much. This has been a very interesting conversation. Hope to have you back soon.
My pleasure.
Thank you.